Well, hello, whoever's listening, and this is a workshop that I'm suggesting is useful for anybody at any time. And perhaps the best of times is when you're doing a warm-up before you perform. It's a real performance trick. It's a way of ensuring that you've got the vocal confidence to target your breath and hit home with that joke or that whispered quip. It's a voice exercise. I'm deliberately recording this as an audio file. However, first time Robin Hambrook and I met, we met in person in a lovely studio inside Summer Hall in Edinburgh, and we did this exercise. Once upon a time, I was lucky enough to be the Scottish delegate down at a world symposium at the Royal Shakespeare Company in Stratford. My friend, in inverted commas, but I think so, was called Cicely Berry, and she was one of my visiting lecturers when I studied at Central School of Speech and Drama. So this is something I learned at that World Symposium, where all of these fantastic people, mainly women it has to be said, but a couple of good guys, as there always or tends to be. She, a woman who was also there, was working a lot in Australia and New Zealand, and she brought this exercise that she herself had learned from Aborigines. It's to do with how they declare themselves. It's how they place themselves in three really, really succinct, specific ways. They don't name themselves, oh, hi, I'm Charlie, when they meet each other. They call themselves after the earth, the water, and the ancestor to whom they feel most connection. That way, the person that they've met across whatever desert expanse, I imagine, in Australia, because I've never been, but I can picture it, and maybe you can too. Picture it. A wide expanse. And walking towards you is a silhouetted figure. And when they get close to you, they stop. They're one of your kind. They too know that this is the way to announce yourself to someone you may or may not know, but probably knows the place or the water or the ancestor to whom you're going to refer. Okay, so find yourself a good space, a good room, preferably with an echo. Personally, I really like a good resonant room for doing this exercise in, or outdoors, or on a cupboard space. You can do it absolutely anywhere, and I've been known to do it when I'm trying to pluck up some confidence because I have a piece of public speaking I have to do. So I've literally been found in the ladies' toilets doing this simple exercise. But as a performer and as someone who wants to make connection through voice or non-verbal with your body, it's really straightforward way of drawing all the strength and the power from these naming of your parts. Okay, 3 simple sentences. Each of the 3 sentences begins with the same 2 words. I am. I am. I am. So the first sentence needs to be concluded with you naming for yourself, instinctively, without really thinking about it, the place on the earth that you feel most connection to. So it could be the back garden. I am the back garden. It could be a large expanse. I am Arthur's seat. The place. Practice it in your head. I am. The second sentence also begins I am, and this time we're looking for that immediate reconnection with a space of water. So it might be a rushing brook, or it might be a Pelican Cove in the Caribbean, or it might be the hot shower that you step into after a good performance. Oh, and you breathe out. So, second sentence begins, I am the first hot shower I had having given birth to my daughter, and I can feel still the relaxation of it. Okay, you got yours. So the third and final sentence begins, I am. And this time, for some people, it seems to be a little trickier to find this one. You might need to think a little harder about it because it's really important. You're about to call on the strength of what you know of an ancestor. Somebody in your family who's been on the earth before you. So, for example, I am Uncle Colin James. Or I am Great Uncle Elwyn. Interesting how I've just chosen two boys. I am Grandma Rose from Suffolk. Grandma Rose Alice Whymark. Okay. Now you're going to string those three simple sentences together, but this is how it becomes a voice exercise. I want you to use all of a single intake, hold and out breath on each of the three sentences. Okay. Have a practice in your own head and now out loud. Just to yourself. You don't need an audience for this. You're the audience. Ready? I am the Golden Acre in Bexley Village, Kent, where I grew up. The Golden Acre where we could play, where we could be safe, we could be seen from the roads around. And there was a climbing frame on the Golden Acre of my childhood. I am lucky enough to be the Pelican Cove off Antigua in the Caribbean, watching pelicans flying in and back at dusk. I am Thomas Roy Charles Whymark, MRCVS, my father. I am his strength, his fairness, his hardness. Not an easy man to please, and all the better for that. Because when you did, oh my goodness. Thomas Roy Charles Whymark. Okay, so there was my example for you. Try it a few times. Try and fill the space with your voice and use the breath to give you the power of that water in that cove, the calm of it too, the solidity and rootedness of that place on the earth, and draw into yourself the confidence of Thomas Roy Charles. Right, you're all set. Really simple. Use a whole breath. The breathing in, a hold, and a breathing out of each sentence. That's all. It's really simple. But as Robin will attest, when you are lucky enough to be in a room with other people who also know this voice exercise, maybe they were at one of my many workshops over the years, maybe they were there at the World Symposium with Cicely Berry. Oh, lucky people. It was an amazing, amazing week. Might have been only a long weekend, but at Stratford on Avon, absolutely beautiful spot. Treading in the feet of Shakespeare. I mean, seriously, you can't get much more powerful a position on the planet than that. If you're into words, which I am clearly, I'm not a clown as such, although some people say I am clownish, and I have been known to make people laugh on purpose. So, I'm offering it to you because every performer needs that strength that flow, that security. To be confident on a stage when you're crossing that empty space to reach an audience. Bon chance, enjoy yourselves because it's fun. And do feel free to share it. Clearly I've shared it via a few other people. Okay, I better stop talking now. This has been great fun, and I hope it's useful, and best of luck in all of your lockdown endeavours. Mwah. Mwah. Bye.